Welcome, replay viewers. Happy Thursday to you. Hi, Mandy. Welcome to everyone coming in as well. It is a beautiful blue sky day here. I have needed the sunshine so much. I felt so completely unmotivated yesterday. Hi, Sarah. And I am just feeling motivated today. Hey, I saw Beth pop in. Welcome, Beth. I don't know if you've had you in one of my scopes before. Welcome, everyone. Okay, I think I can safely turn around now. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Jessica. Okay. Ooh, my wall looks chartreuse back there. It really isn't. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I actually put my sweatshirt on before I even remembered it was St. Patrick's Day, so I was all set, not to be pinched. My mother-in-law just picked up my two youngest to take them. No, I don't have any snow. It's just beautiful out. Hello, Eileen. There's a whole bunch of people that came in at once, so I just called out the people that I recognized that I saw really fast. So hello to everyone who is here. Hey, Danielle. My mother-in-law is taking my kids, my two youngest, to IHOP for the dollar short stack, so they don't know. They'll love it. Moscow has snow? Well, I'm so glad that I'm not in Moscow because, yeah, this is a beautiful day. I don't know, maybe it's moving this way. I haven't looked at the news. That would be a bummer. I do not need any more snow. We did have a little bit of sprinkling of snow on Monday, I think it was. Really light bit, and we had a tiny bit of hail yesterday or Tuesday. I don't remember which, but it's really nice here today. And I was just looking at my flower beds thinking, okay, I need to get out. Brain aspects of running a creative business. And for the past couple days, I've been talking about the new Etsy shop design since everyone's, this is all the buzz because it's a new thing this week. And so people are navigating it, figuring out what they need to change, whether or not they like it, which doesn't really matter if you're going to keep selling on Etsy. It's one of those things that, like it or not, we have to adapt and either leave Etsy if we hate it or stay on Etsy and do what we need to make the changes. So can someone leave a comment to let me know if the broadcast is freezing a lot? I do notice some people are jumping out and back in, so I don't know if you're able to hear me and see me and follow along. You lost it once. Okay. Well, I will just keep going, but let me know if there are some ongoing issues and you think that I need to hop out and back in. Hopefully not. Okay. So today I just want to talk about a few things that I think you should be aware of as you navigate this new design after I've looked into it a little bit more. One thing that I noticed is that the shop rearrange tool, even though it's going to be great for the fact that once you rearrange items, if you sell, thanks Eileen, if you sell something, it will, and it renews, it will not go back to the top, it will go back to its spot, which I think is wonderful. So, there's a lot of people that sell collections, and so they have all their similar looking things together on one line or else going down, and this will help them to be able to maintain that organization both in a browser and the app. So visually their stuff stays cohesive. So that is a really good feature. However, if you have a lot of items in your shop, then you could have some issues and some frustrations when you go to rearrange. Because you know how right now in the rearrange tool, you can choose to send an item to a certain page. So let's say something's on page 1, it just renewed, but you want it on page 5, and you can send it there. That's not the case anymore. Because of this continuous scroll feature, when you're looking at your items and you're going to rearrange them and you click see more items and it shows all the items, you have to drag, and you could potentially be dragging a really long ways to put your item in a different spot. So I know a lot of people are expressing frustration over that. So maybe that's something that between now and April 5th, Etsy will consider, because I can't even imagine having hundreds of items in my shop and trying to rearrange without being able to just put them on different pages and having to drag a really, really long ways. So in those cases, some people might just settle for only rearranging the very beginning, the first page of their shop, and not bother with any others. So that's something to be aware of. Another thing to be aware of is reviews are right underneath your items, above your about page, and above, hey Patrice, your policies. And so when someone's scrolling and looks at your items, they see your last 3, I believe, reviews right away. So I wish that reviews were at the end and that policies were there, because I think that we probably want people to see our policies front and center, and then they could always check the reviews if they want to. And, the reviews are available with each product description. When someone clicks on the review, they see first the reviews for that listing, and then your most recent ones after that if there's space. And then there's always a way to just click on the reviews in general. So I'm not sure why they put them so high in that whole continuous scroll feed, but it's something to be aware of, and just even more important reason to do what you can for customer service and product quality to make sure you're getting good reviews. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more in depth about the policies, the new policies page. The way we have it right now is we create policies, and it's pretty much just in paragraph form, and we can cover whatever we want in those policies and make things as clear as we need to. And I think a lot of us have found, as we've owned a shop for longer and as more situations have come up, that we've had to be more specific about things like returns and exchanges and a customer providing the incorrect address and it's sent back to you, and what's necessary in order for it to be sent back out to them. International orders and customs information. There's a lot of things that I cover pretty in depth, because I've found that questions come up and situations come up that I want addressed ahead of time. So in the new policies structure, they have made it a lot more streamlined. But the problem is there is way less flexibility for us to be really specific in our policies. So I don't know if you've looked at that part yet, but it is really, really a lot more bullet pointed. So it starts with like shipping, and it just says basically the processing time. I need to prepare an order for shipping varies. For details, see individual items. Okay, that's fine. Estimated shipping times, that's optional to include those. I'm not sure I'm going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, because even the estimated shipping times that the USPS gives us, there can be so many variables involved, and I don't want to have customers start going, oh, but you said it should be here within this time period. If someone asks me how long it takes, I always say, well, according to the USPS, first class should take this long to get to you, or priority should take this long to get to you. But I don't like to just put that out there unless I'm asked, and I always make sure that I qualify that it's the USPS. So I'm not sure I'll fill out that part. So to change the bullet points, Brooke, I'm a time for everything, Eileen, and it's with the number 4. Okay, yes, Beth, you can keep your old policies. Here's the issue, but the thing is, I don't think that this should make your decision for you. I am leaning towards maybe keeping my old policies. They do say that using the new policy structure will help you more in search placement. Now, I don't know to what degree. I don't know how much weight they're placing on that. So when they introduced the customer experience component of search, they included policies in there. Your about page, having policies filled out, having an about page, and having positive reviews. So having your policies filled out already was a piece of that and important for search placement to some degree. So what they're saying is, okay, having the structured policies, this new format they've introduced, will give you a little bit more of an edge in search. I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that that amount of an edge is worth going to their structured policies and not retaining my detailed ones. So that's something I'm still thinking on. There is just very little customization available for that. So if you want to take a peek at how to do that, you added something to the FAQ section. Okay. Yeah, that, that could be helpful if someone reads it. If you want to add some specifics there. And also I wanted to let you know that the FAQ section, the seller details, and the shipping estimates don't factor in when it comes to search placement. So what they're looking at there is the shipping information, payment options, returns and exchanges information, and the privacy policy, which, let me address when Brooke was asking about how you see the structured things. When you go in to view your shop in the new format and you can edit it, when you get to your policies section, there's a little bit of a note that says something about our policies are simplified, etc., and you can preview it, and then it will show you all the sections and how they look and how you can add things or check boxes or uncheck boxes to include them, but you don't have to publish those shop policies. You can go in and look and get an idea of what is included. So I would recommend that you do that. Go into your shop preview, go down to the policies section, and preview what it is that they're including. Now, as far as the privacy policy, this is what they're saying. I think this is Etsy's way of trying to get us not to use any emails to contact customers and ask if they want to be added to our email list. They say, I will only use your shipping and billing address and contact information to communicate with you about an order, to fulfill your order, for legal reasons like paying taxes and other. So even though they say in their terms of use that you can't add someone to your mailing list without their consent, which I think is totally a great policy to have. I think it should always be with permission. They're almost making this privacy policy section of the policies sound as though if you have that in place, then you can't even ask them if they want to be added. That you literally can only communicate with them about about their order itself or to fulfill their order. That it would be breaking your privacy policy if you ask, hey, I have this mailing list and it's what I use to offer my best deals to people who follow me. Would you be interested in being added to it? Which is totally not spammy. It's just an invitation and you would never add them without them saying yes. But this privacy policy section almost makes me feel as though, well, yeah, you can ask via Convo, except for this privacy policy does include contact information, which would be convoing too. I mean, I think that I just have this feeling that they're trying to kind of slide this in here. I don't know. So I'm a little bit leery of that. Some shoppers feel spammed and complain, but that's just always going to go on. And I think that the spamming probably happens a lot more when someone adds favorites your item and then that shop owner contacts that person and they feel a little bit like, whoa, I was just favoriting it. I didn't want to get a conversation from you. I don't think people usually abuse the whole, invitation to join a mailing list. But I just think that, Etsy doesn't really want us to be able to communicate with our customers outside of sales. And so I feel like they're trying to find ways to prevent that. Recently heard the suggestion of inviting with orders acknowledged combo. Yeah, and I do that. I have the link to my email list right on that receipt that they receive after an order. But yeah, if you send in combo after an order too, I have a snippet I've created that has all my links to social media and the link to my email newsletter, and I can just put that snippet at the end after I sign my name. So, I mean, it's definitely not against their policies to include the link to your email sign-up list, but I feel like they're trying to make it so that's the only thing we can do is just link to it in these less obvious places and not be too obvious. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but it does have me wondering if that's why they've included that privacy policy section. So that's something that you're going to have to decide when it comes to your policies. Do you feel like you've had enough situations where you need to be really specific in outlining what is required or what's expected or what you'll do in different situations and keep those policies in place, or if you feel comfortable going to their structured ones? Another negative about keeping the policies that you have in place is that there's a lot of scrolling to be done for someone to get through your policies and then get down to your about page. No, I take that back. Your policies are at the end, so there's a lot of scrolling to get to your policies and get to the bottom of your policies. So you have to decide whether that's okay with you. I guess since that they're at the end, it wouldn't be as much of an inconvenience to customers to have to scroll because they're not going through them to try to get to a different section. Now, what I might do if I decide to keep my existing policies is I might try to shorten them up as much as possible, so that there's not so much for customers to read through. And I might try to bullet point them a little bit more. Beth, I'm sure they're not going to tell the degree. They even said, there was some Q&A I was reading and people were asking, how much does it affect our placement and search? They just avoid that question. They avoid that for any factor of the algorithm. So I don't think that they will specify how much. So I think that if you can see where you're ending up in search, and then when this change goes into effect on April 5th, keep an eye just on what happens over that month. Do you see any sort of decline in your search placement? I'm guessing if you're already showing up well in search because you have the most important things in place, like your titles and your tags, well crafted and matching in your long tail keyword phrases, and you have a lot of the other things going on for you that are positive, and your items are being viewed, favorited, and purchased from organic search, I can't imagine that this would have a very significant effect, but just keep an eye on it. And if you notice a difference over the course of the month, then you might want to reevaluate which way you go with the policies. But I imagine if you are doing well in every other category, that it would be a very small effect, if any. Okay, anyone else have some observations of things that you think people should be aware of when it comes to the new shop design? I did talk yesterday about the cover image issue, and I'm going to be creating a little video to show you the differences, what happens if you use their recommended size, and what my suggestions are for size, and some things that you can do to compensate for what happens in mobile when your shop icon covers up part of your cover image. And so that's definitely something to be aware of that I talked about yesterday. And also the fact that your shop announcement, if someone clicks on read more, it's not just like this little box that pops up in front like it does now. It makes your entire shop announcement have to be scrolled through before they see the items in your shop. And so I'm really recommending that shop announcements be kept to be very small. You're welcome, Patrice. And then you can address maybe some of the things you include in your shop announcement now can be put in the FAQs section of your policies instead of in the shop announcement. And the shop announcement, what shows up now too, is less than what has been showing up. Hey, Angela, in our current shop announcement, there's more text. Now it's less text. So you might want to experiment with that and see what you want to be obvious without having someone having to click more, and make sure that that section is visible. So if nobody reads click more, or nobody clicks read more, they will see everything that they really need to if they just keep scrolling down to your items. Let me see if I missed anything I wrote in my notes. Oh, I think that's it. Talk about the Instagram change someday. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to talk about. For those of you who don't know, Instagram is going to some more similar feed like Facebook, which is not surprising because they're owned by Facebook. Instead of being a chronological feed of the people that you follow, it's going to be more based on the types of posts that you interact with likes and comments and that kind of thing, and it's going to change the feed. The algorithm is totally changing. So yeah, Danielle, I think that a lot of the changes are really great. There's always going to be things that we don't care for and things that we do like, but I just see so many people wasting time complaining about them when they can't do anything about it. And these very same people are like, I think I just need to leave Etsy. And then they won't, It's just people that just have a lot of time to waste complaining. So I just think it's much better to just accept what the changes are. Definitely give input. Like, I think I might give some input if I have the opportunity about the whole rearrange shop thing and how tedious and time consuming it's going to be for shops with a lot of items if they have to do a whole bunch of dragging to rearrange. So I think there's practical things that you go, you know what, this is a great feature, but maybe it could be tweaked a little. And then that's helpful kind of feedback to give to Etsy. Yeah, right. Etsy's goal is to make money. We want to make money selling on Etsy, but Etsy wants to make money too. And they're going to do things that they believe are going to convert more sales. That's the bottom line. So sometimes people just don't like change. It requires a little bit of extra work from us, but definitely not something that I think we should offer strong opinions on until it's implemented and we see, it could be a terrific thing. Who knows? And some people that are spending a lot of time complaining could be like, oh, okay, I guess this wasn't so bad. So let's just adjust and do the things that we need to do to move forward. I also want to mention, in case you weren't here yesterday, to keep in mind that if you don't choose to use a cover image and you want to keep using your shop announcement, instead, that will not show up on mobile. So just like now it doesn't show up on mobile, it will not show up in the future. So if you would like kind of a header that sets your shop apart, that will also show up on mobile, definitely consider creating a cover image and not just using your current banner. Okay, any other questions or thoughts about the change? Like I said yesterday too, it's mostly just visual, okay? It's just a change of a look. The policies part is really the only thing that's search, affecting search potentially, but the rest of it is just how things are going to appear. And the listings, yeah, I was talking to the banner about the banner part. If you choose to use your existing banner, that is not mobile responsive. It will not be mobile responsive after the change. And so just like now, it doesn't show up in the app. It will not after the change. But if you create a cover image, that is mobile responsive and it will show up in the app. It is resized to fit on your shop page in the app. Oh, I just lost my train of thought what I was talking about. Oh, no. I already said that. I don't remember. I was in the middle of a sentence about something and I chased a squirrel, and that's okay. A question popped up, so I want to make sure I address that. But, oh, I know. Yes, I got that today, Patrice. I'll definitely take that into consideration. The whole fact that it's just a visual change. And so you just need to, make sure that you do the things that are necessary so that your shop is looking good in this new format when everything changes over on April 5th. But just keep doing the things that you're doing with your, optimizing your listings so that you're found in search, and know that product descriptions themselves, when someone clicks through to a listing, everything looks exactly the same. Okay? There's no changes there. This is literally just a change to like your storefront. It's like you're getting a renovation on the outside of your brick and mortar store. So what people see when they come in, maybe how they enter your store, maybe what doors they go through is a little bit different, but everything that's inside is still the same. Okay? So try not to panic about it and just whittle away. Oh, you're welcome, Danielle. Whittle away at it a little bit at a time over the next couple of weeks so that when April 5th comes, it's just seamless for you, and people just come and shop. And yeah, I choose to try to see the things that I like about it and be excited about what might happen as a result, and just go from there. Okay, so tomorrow we'll do some Q&A. So if you have anything in particular that comes up, it does not have to be just questions about the change in design. It can be any sort of Etsy seller related questions, or anything. It doesn't even have to be about Etsy, like Danielle, I think was asking me if I could cover the Instagram change, or Brooke, I guess, asked me if I could talk about the change on Instagram. If there's anything that's affecting you as a business owner, as a maker, as a seller that you think I could address, then definitely bring that question. Alrighty, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I hope to see you tomorrow.